Instagram stories for Friday, November 15th. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. Action-packed episode for you today. Leah Haberman from the In Case You Missed It newsletter stops by to talk about how TikTok is integrating links into captions and what that could potentially mean for Instagram. There's a number of Threads updates that I'm going to get into, including a change to the sign-up process on Threads and who you're invited to follow when you first join. And Kirsty Lang, senior content writer at Buffer, shares some analytics that the Buffer team has done on Instagram posts over the past 2 years, showing that Reels are best for reach, but not for engagement. You're going to really like today's episode. Here's a quick word from our sponsor. Okay, let's get into the first news item, which is all about links in captions on TikTok. Now, historically, you have not been able to have links in captions on both TikTok and Instagram. On TikTok, you could have a link in the bio, and on Instagram, you could have a link in the bio and a link in stories, never in captions. You could only do links in captions on Twitter and Threads and so on. But now TikTok is rolling out a way to have links in captions. You're going to want to know about this. Here's Leah Haberman from the In Case You Missed It newsletter to explain more.
This is Leah Haberman of In Case You Missed It, the social media newsletter that cuts through the clutter and gets to the point as quickly as possible. Daniel interviewed me for the Instagram Stories podcast on episode 64, but now there's something new that TikTok's working on that you need to know about. So historically, Instagram and TikTok have never supported links in captions. However, TikTok is now rolling out a link pinned to the top of the comment section at a post level. This gives creators a chance to link to their affiliate pages on Amazon, Target, Temu, and more. Now, in the examples I saw, several affiliate creators are directly sharing LTK-related product links in their posts that point directly to the LTK sub-affiliate app. I think this move's a really interesting way to make TikTok instantly more attractive to brands, affiliate programs, and creators. And depending on how it performs, this could be the thing to push Instagram to reverse their decision not to have links in captions. To stay up to date on social media news, subscribe to the In Case You Missed It newsletter and follow me on LinkedIn or wherever you get your social news. And now back to Daniel.
To see an example of what Leah's talking about, I linked to her Threads post, which has a video demonstrating what this looks like. If you are an affiliate marketer and you use TikTok, this is absolutely a game changer to know about. Go ahead and check to see it if you have this feature. If you are looking to make money on TikTok and you never explored affiliate marketing, this might very well be the time. Let's move on to the Threads news. The head of Instagram, Adam Mosseri, posted on Threads, interesting Threads fact. We're removing the Instagram graph import from the onboarding flow. We've been running a test for a while now, and it looks like people actually prefer their experience if they build on a different graph on Threads than the graph they had on Instagram. Feels a bit like a growing up moment. Now, if that thread didn't make any sense to you at all, it's because he used a lot of insider language that didn't actually convey what he is talking about. So he made an English version of that same Threads post. I'll read it to you. When someone signs up for Threads, we used to make it easy for them to follow all the same accounts on Threads that they follow on Instagram. We stopped doing that for people in a handful of countries for a few months and saw that those people used Threads more, not less. So now we're going to stop asking people to follow all the same accounts on Instagram that they do on Threads as part of the sign-up flow. This is a great idea. I've noticed that the people who I follow on Instagram and also follow on Threads do not post very often on Threads, or they post the exact same content on Instagram that they do on Threads. So it's not really worth it to follow them. I would much rather be following the people who are starting or engaging in conversations on Threads, whether I know them or not. Those are the potential new follows that I will find. Following the same people on Instagram and Threads doesn't really make much sense unless they're adding value to the conversation on Threads. In other Threads updates, the news outlet The Information reports that Threads plans to introduce advertisements to the app starting early next year. Threads is planning to allow a small number of advertisers to create and publish ads on the app starting in January. According to The Information's reporting, a team inside Instagram's advertising division is leading the initiative. I want to take this time to say that I have enjoyed my experience on Threads largely because it is ad-free, especially when compared to Twitter. But personally, I've been using Twitter with uBlock Origin, which is an ad blocker inside the browser, and it works really well. When Threads rolls out ads, I will switch from using Threads in the app to using Threads in the browser, and uBlock Origin will stop the ads there as well. You do lose some functionality by using it in the browser, but to me, not having ads is well worth the experience. And lastly, Adam Mosseri posted today a new Threads update. Quote, "We've heard the feedback. We're testing a new way for people to create custom feeds of topics and people they want to follow around a given subject. Pull down on the home screen and you can toggle between the For You feed, following feed, and your custom feeds. If you're in the test, please share your feedback below." I don't have this, but I want to say that it reminds me of what TweetDeck used to be. If you've never used TweetDeck, it was back in 2010 or 2011. It made Twitter a much better experience, and you could add columns of all the information, search terms, conversations that you wanted to track, and then you could scroll through all those feeds to find the information that you wanted. It was a fantastic experience. Nice to see Threads taking another step in the TweetDeck direction. Okay, we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, Kirsty Lang from the Buffer team is going to share the data showing that Instagram Reels are best for reach, but not necessarily for engagement. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Are you familiar with Buffer? It's an excellent social media tool that lets you post to multiple platforms, but you can customize the messaging for each platform and schedule the posts accordingly. It supports all the social media platforms that you might want to use, and they even recently added Thread support. So why am I talking about Buffer today? The team at Buffer reviewed the data for more than 4 million Instagram posts sent through Buffer from January 2022 to October 2024, so 2.5 years worth of data. What did they find when it comes to reach and engagement? Here's Kirsty Lang, senior content writer at Buffer, to explain their findings.
Instagram Reels are amazing for reach, but they are not necessarily the best for engagement. We analyzed data for more than 4 million Instagram posts sent via Buffer between 2022 and 2024, and the results were unexpected. Let's start with reach. Our data showed that Instagram Reels outperform everything else when it comes to reach. Reels tend to get more than 36% more reach than carousels and more than double single image posts. Now, there are a lot of reasons that this could be the case, but probably the biggest contributing factor is the fact that Reels have their own feed within the Instagram app, and this feed is specifically designed to help Instagram users find new content and new people to follow. So if you're looking to expand your reach and find new followers, consistently incorporating Reels into your content calendar on Instagram is a must. But if you're focused on engagement, things are a little different. When it comes to likes, comments, and shares, carousels are actually the winning content type. They tend to get 12% more engagement than Reels, and again, more than double single image posts. Why is that? There are a host of reasons that this is the case, but one of the most important ones is that carousels can appear in people's feeds more than once. So if someone swipes through 1 or 2 photos on your carousel and doesn't finish looking at the rest, that post may appear on their feed again with the photos that they didn't see, prompting them to pick up where they left off. Also, carousels appear in the main Instagram feed, where people are more likely to see content from their friends, family, and people that they already follow, so their behavior is a little bit different here. If you're looking for more information on the study, we have more numbers, more theories, and more graphs. That took me quite a long time to make. So if you want to check that out, do head over to the link in our bio.
Kirsty wrote a very in-depth analysis about all this data. It includes graphics. It's fantastic. I will link to it in the show notes. Be sure to check it out for yourself. Be sure to come back on Monday for Mosseri Monday, where we break down what the head of Instagram talked about on his Ask Me Anything. And if this is your first time listening to the show, I have a rap song with all the negative things that I think about myself in music form, so you can enjoy that. Here it is.
Let me tell you a couple things that you should know about me. A product manager, but do not have a bachelor's degree. But actually, that's factually a fraction of me. And other fractions posting content irregular and irrationally. Still probably won't get a job at the Gram. They forgot, they don't know, or don't care who I am. That's why you never see me at the parties and events. My lack of followers must make me irrelevant. Don't have a course, a book to sell to make a bag of grand. Not a social media marketer, don't represent any brands. Plain to see, don't have an agency. But I got a lot of spam, just putting in my work without the glitz and glam. Won't catch me eating fish unless it's shrimp or clam. No 6-pack, no risk that, there's a gym card in my hand. Don't have a full-time job, but I got a lot of plans. Stay plotting, dropping knowledge on TikTok and Instagram.